On the dawn of March, 1877, I found myself in the company of a silly man I once admired when I was a lad, and he nearly a man. His name is R.M Renfield. He was quite mature for his age back when our minds thought of simple things. Today we sat opposite each other at a tiny dining table in his modest home. To be quite honest, the table looked rather out of place. The home was in good enough condition, but the table was a bit too small. It had chips and weathered damage scattered all throughout. Ridiculous that a man of such wealth would live under these conditions. Not only are his parents well off, but he himself has begun to build quite a reputation as a solicitor. You'd never think this, however, just based on the manner in which he carries himself. He speaks to his dog. "Sweet doggie, come here." "Who's a sweet doggie? By God! It's only an animal used for work and protection, not a mindless child. Stop that." I scolded him and said, "You sound absolutely ridiculous." R.M.'s wife, Beth, simply told me to let the man be. I endured the madness because I wanted bread, and not just any bread. It was as if God himself swept his fingers through the yeast and created loaves that would fill you and leave you satisfied for all of eternity. But, of course, the bread was baked from Beth and not God. And often my advisor would hear me go on about how good the meals were at the Renfields because of this woman. And he'd always warn me to be careful and not to be a fool. Beth is, after all, a married woman. Drat. I write about such encounters because it all has a purpose and theme: to rid the world of evildoers that lurk in the night. And as the sun set, an opportunity arose giving me permission to do exactly that. R.M. is a man who lingers in curiosity, and I invested my time in teaching him nobility. "What's that sound?" Renfield cried. Beth heard nothing of it, but under the table she went because, well, her bloody husband thought of no better place to hide her. I admit, this is where I let my guard down, and that should never be done. Not even for a split second when faced with the sort of danger a vampire presents. "Ah, for heaven's sake, child!" I looked down, both horrified and disappointed all at once. "Get up and hide someplace else. A vampire will see you and suck your blood until you have none left. Do you understand? Good Lord Almighty, help us all." Beth, the poor girl, she looked at her husband to guide her in finding a new hiding spot. He was useless, completely and utterly useless. He can defend someone against charges for theft, give them the correct ways to present themselves in a court of law, but he cannot give good advice in this matter of life and death. What is wrong with this man? The windows rattled until they broke, and only one creature came flying through. But one vampire is too many, and he must be executed at all cost.